Dobry day.
Zdravejte.
And welcome back to our little Bulgarian adventure.
What have we done this week?
We've had a lovely week. Weather's been fab all week.
Yes, proper spring weather this week.
Yeah, so we got quite a lot done in the garden. Adam's done strimming every morning.
Yeah.
And we've still got about
a
fifth of our land to do.
Yes, we've got into that real extreme growth stage where I haven't finished strimming everything, and the bit I started with needs trimming again. So. It's a
bit dispiriting, that, isn't it?
It's painting the fourth bridge kind of thing, but it doesn't last very long. So
no, we've heard about 3 or 4 weeks of it.
Yeah. So we've done that.
The grass in the woodland now is over our knees.
Yes, we've re-established pathways, and we're working our way gradually through, just trying to keep it under control without being too drastic. But
yeah, leaving as many of the dead nettles and anything with flowers on for the bees.
Yeah,
we try and leave, but
give them a fighting chance. So
the other adventure we've had this week is Sophia.
Yes, she's coming to season,
which has caused great consternation amongst the local dogs.
Well, one in particular, we're calling him Fandango Fantail.
Yeah, he's actually quite a nice looking dog. He's black and white with a big fan tail.
But he's been around pretty much constantly for the last week and a half.
And we discovered halfway through the week that he can scale 6-foot chain link fencing.
Yes. So we're having to keep posting guards to keep an eye on the dogs. Sophia's been sleeping in the corridor, just outside our room. That keeps her safe overnight.
Yeah. Away from doggies, and she's been very good.
Yeah. And in fairness, she's not made any fuss. Not like Zig when she was in heat.
No.
That was noisy.
But we have had Fandango with his midnight barking.
Yes, and scratching at the door and trying to be let in.
Yeah.
So
when he worked out he could jump the fence.
So yes, that's been an experience, but we have the dogs in the enclosure that we built for them, and as I say, we're posting guards. Max currently is on duty, but as we're working outside, we can keep an eye out for the other intruders. So
I mean, I think in fairness to Fandango, he's kept most of the other dogs away.
He does seem to have done, yes.
As the weeks progressed, he's made sure it's just him.
Yeah. And the only one he seems slightly nervous of is me. He just ignores everyone else.
Yes, he completely ignores me. He thinks I'm just... Yeah, he obviously knows I'm no threat to him whatsoever.
But with clapping and oying, he will go away.
Yeah. So. For a short time.
Yeah. So yes, that's taken up some of our time this week.
Yeah. But hopefully this week coming, or the week after, we'll get the vaccination sorted, and then we can get the dogs all spayed.
And that would end those issues.
Hopefully, yes.
Something else we've done this week is we've been working in the garden.
Yeah, we've done lots of work in the garden, just clearing beds ready for veg and stuff to go in. We're really late because of the dogs.
Yeah.
But we'll give it a go and see what we get out.
But the other thing we did was, as you know, last year we did a potato tower. Well, we've upped the ante this year, and this is what we did. We're at the stage now where we're ready to put together our potato towers. Last year we had it down in the courtyard. This year we're going to put them up in the garden near the raised bed. This year we're planting 3 varieties of potato, which means we need 3 potato towers. We're changing the design from last year, and 2 of the towers will go at this end of the raised bed, and the 3rd potato tower will be at this end. We're doing a different design as well this year. Last year we used the wire mesh, chain link fence with posts. This year we're making wooden ones out of floorboards, just to see if it works any better. So what we have to do now is make the towers. We're making the new potato towers out of the old floorboards from our bedroom. This is where we store them underneath the van. We're going to pull them out, measure them up and cut them. We've now cut all the boards to 90 centimetres. We've got enough wood there now for the 3 potato towers. We need the uprights that go in the corners, and then we can start putting them together. Now that we've cut all the wood, we have to screw them together to make the square shape of the tower. We're doing 4 up the back and 2 at each side. The 4 up the back will face northward so that the sun can come in from the other 3 directions, and we'll get as much sunlight then on our potatoes as we can. We'll add the extra panels as the potato plants grow. Now that we've made all 3 potato towers, we've put them in position in the garden next to the raised bed. We've worked out this is the area in the garden where it's probably going to get the most sunlight. Hopefully that will help the potatoes grow. And all we're going to do now is fill them up and plant them. We've literally just placed them on the grass. We're going to put a layer of cardboard, then a small layer of straw and dirt out of the barn before we start putting the earth and the compost in. We're going to fill to the top of the first plank, and then we're going to plant the potatoes, cover those over. As they grow, we'll build up the sides, backfill the earth, and see how many potatoes we can get from each tower. So we've now got the cardboard in the bottom of the raised bed. All we have to do now is start putting the straw that's come out of the barn on top as the first layer, and then continue on with compost. We now have the compost up to the top of the first board. We're ready now to start putting the potatoes in. Once they're in, we'll cover them up, and that will be that. Here are the potatoes. They've been left to chit, which is the green and the purple bits, the little sprouts coming out of them, and they're now ready to go into the potato towers. We're now planting the potatoes. We're going to put 9 in each potato tower. They're basically gently put into the dirt with the chits facing upwards. Once we've got them in the dirt like this, we'll cover them up by sifting soil over the top so that we don't damage the chits. Now all we have to do is gently water the soil and leave it alone until we see the first shoots coming through. So that's our 3 potato towers now planted, watered. All we have to do now is wait for them to grow. As they grow, we'll continue filling them up, hopefully giving us a bumper crop of potatoes. We'll let you know in due course.
So as usual, with the best laid plans of mice and men, having built the dog enclosure to keep the dogs off the vegetable beds, that now meant the cats have free rein of the garden again.
Yep.
So we've now have to keep the cats off the when we planted seeds.
Yes, 3 freshly prepared potato towers are ideal for litter trays apparently.
Yes.
So we've had to put some netting over those. But it won't last long. Once we've got the proper growth going, they'll leave them alone. So
Yeah.
At least we hope so.
Yeah, as soon as they can't see the bare soil.
Yeah.
So so we moved from the dog cat garden problem to the cat garden problem. But
Didn't have these issues last year, but then there was just Ziggy, and she was well
we didn't
behaved.
notice if she
No.
made issues. But with 5 or 6 of them, it's noticeable.
Oh yes.
So we haven't really been out anywhere this week or done anything.
No, nothing out of the
It's
ordinary.
been lovely here. We've
Yeah.
actually not really even resented going shopping, haven't we? 'Cause it's taken
I always
us away.
resent going shopping.
But yes, we have done that this week. So
Yeah.
we've got the weekend to spend finishing off in the garden, and then we start Max's room next week.
Yes.
hopefully.
I've got a trip to the builder's yards to get the relevant materials, and then we can crack on with that.
And get his floor concreted.
Yeah, so I think that's about it really from us this week.
Yeah, I don't think anything else drastic happened. It's
No.
been quite a quiet, pleasant week.
Yes. Next week we might be a bit late putting up our video.
Oh yes, because we've been invited to the town square for the St George's Day celebrations on Friday.
Yes. So it starts at 10, but we've no idea what time it finishes.
So yeah, we'll be down at that. Well, hopefully we'll take some footage of that as well,
Yeah, and show you
Post
what
that next week.
people were up to.
rather than just having to look at us.
Yeah. It's got to be more interesting, surely.
Yes.
So, until next week,
Do skoro,
do skoro, take care,
stay safe.
and we'll see you then.
Bye.
Bye.